Okay, so welcome guys, good morning. So I have already told you in the prelims, science and technology plays a major role. Okay, see, first you need to know the difference between science and technology. Okay, so previously, before a month, I have started physics. Okay, chemistry and biology. These three things are called as science. From the childhood, what you are learning is science. Okay, so that is covered in UPSC in the form of GS. In the form of GS. On the other side, we have one more thing which is science and tech. On the other side, we have one more thing which is science and tech. See what happens here is, if you anyone, are you from CSE background, computer science? No. Let me tell you something. If you are from CSE background, in your college they'll start with C language. Okay, they'll teach you C++, and then they'll teach you Java. But when you enter into a software job, where you'll learn something else. For front end you'll use React.js, and for back end you'll use Node.js. For front end you'll use Angular. Okay, and for back end you'll use .NET. So these are technologies. These are technologies. Okay, so the basics we are studying is GS, general science. Okay, and based on general science, if we are developing any technology, then it is called as science and tech. So here what happens is, from the childhood you will be learning science. Okay, so from class 6 you will be learning from class 6 you will be learning science. Okay, but when it comes to UPSC, once you crack the UPSC, what happens here is, you will be entering into bureaucracy. In the bureaucracy, you'll see technology. You'll talk about space. You'll talk about drone technology for farming. You'll talk about everything about technology only. Nowhere the science is required. Nobody will ask you why pressure is this much here. But people will ask you, here there is high pressure. Then as a bureaucrat, you need to come up with the solution. So here you need to come up with a technology wherein you have to decrease the pressure at that particular place. Somewhere, if oxygen is less, okay, then nobody will ask you why oxygen is less here. Okay, from 6th class you are learning. Okay, if you're going above, oxygen levels will decrease. But people will ask you, the people living over there will ask you, we need a technology wherein we want oxygen. Just like people living in the plateau area, how they are getting the oxygen, same level oxygen we need to get. Okay, so here you need to come up with a technology. You need to know about the technology. Yes, so in the UPSC, that's the reason GS is there in the syllabus. But merely in the last 10 years, they have asked you 3 questions. So from 6th class to 12th class, NCERT's physics, chemistry, biology, if you will read, okay, there are high chances you'll get 1. And if you are in a worst case scenario, then you'll get 0. But the thing here is, science and tech, every year average he is asking 18 questions. Average 18 questions. But the thing here is, again, for 18 questions, people will merely depend on Vision IS PT 365 booklet. Nothing more than. See, first you have to cover the basics. Along with the basics, before going into the examination, if you can cover that PT 365, that will give you a better result. But what people will do is, simply they'll leave the science and tech. 18 marks, guys. 18 marks. Even if you are getting 10 questions here, then trust me, your prelims will be, for sure you'll qualify your prelims. So that basics which I am going to teach you, okay, from the basics, trust me, you'll get 10 questions. In your examination, for sure you'll get 10 questions. And the remaining 8 questions again PT 365 you have to do. If you are following the current affairs overall year, then no need of PT 365. Your current affairs notebook will be your PT 365. If you are not following, then you have only one Bible, which is PT 365. Okay, so that will give you 8 more questions. Even a topper cannot attempt 18 questions. So if you are a topper, then merely you'll get 15 questions, but 15 questions means 30 marks, and your qualifying mark will be 80 marks. So you're very close to qualifying mark. Obviously, I mean, people who are preparing for UPSC, at least they would have known the ancient history. At least they'll solve 3 to 4 questions. Modern history, for sure, they'll read. So in the history, at least they'll get 10 to 12 marks, maximum 15. Okay, even he's a bastard also, then also he'll get 15. Okay, geography, same scenario. He'll get at least 10 marks. And polity, I'm sure that you'll get more marks than anyone else. And economy, I'll make you, I mean, for sure. Okay, so wait for the budget lectures. For sure, you'll get good marks in economy. So, in the core subjects, if you are managing to get around 50 marks and remaining here 15 and 15 from this environment and eco, your prelims will be done and dusted. See, that's how I always told you guys. I used to get around 125 marks in the prelims, more than 125, indeed. How? Because people will focus on the core areas: polity, history, geography, and economy. But after reading all the subjects, they'll get merely 40 questions. But only 2 subjects, you'll get 30 questions. Those 2 subjects are environment and eco and science and tech. Okay, so the environment and eco I can't deal you because I'm not good at environment and eco. Geography faculty will deal that subject. Okay, but trust me, I'm from BTech background and this science and tech. Okay, so minimum you can expect 10 questions from my lectures. Minimum 10 questions. If not the case, you can ask me after the prelims. Okay, so the same confidence which I have given you in polity, the same confidence you are going to get again in the science and tech lectures. Okay, chalo then. Syllabus, no point in discussing syllabus of science and tech. Simply what I'll do is, okay, I'll take a picture and I'll send you in the WhatsApp group. Okay, but in today's class I am going to start a chapter called energy. Okay, so in total you have 11 chapters. So this is first chapter. Keep a heading as energy. Okay, fine. So when I say energy, what do you mean by energy? Huh? A basic definition of energy. Huh? The ability to do work. The ability to do work. Okay. So here energy has 2 values. First one is caloric value. What is that? Caloric value. Caloric value. No need to write. No need to write anything. Okay, just listen. Caloric value. Okay, so caloric value means it is there in your food, the food which you are consuming. Okay, let's say caloric value means if you are eating 1 gram of food, how much energy you are getting is called as caloric value. See, even on a chocolate bar, you will be having calories. Those calories are nothing but caloric value. Okay, so those calories means After consuming this chocolate, you will get 43 calories. That is caloric value. So caloric value is nothing but if you are consuming 1 gram of food, the energy which you are getting is nothing but caloric value. Okay, so in the food generally, if you are consuming fats, then you will get more energy. Chicken, oil, meat, you will get more energy. Then second one is protein. So after, next to the fats, you will be having proteins. If you are having proteins, then you will get more energy. If you are having carbs, carbohydrates, the rice which you are having daily, the potato which you are having daily, okay, these things if you are having, then you will get minimum energy. So this is about caloric value. But when I say caloric value, this is purely into science. What we are learning here, science and technology. So here we're going to learn calorific value. Calorific value. Okay, so calorific value means the amount of energy, okay, produced after burning 1 gram of fuel. Okay, example, I have taken coal 1 gram, I have taken petrol 1 gram, I have taken diesel 1 gram, okay, I have taken CNG 1 gram, I have taken LPG 1 gram. Okay, now I'll burn each and everything, and I'll check from which fuel I'm getting more energy. If something is getting more energy, then it has more calorific value. Okay, so which one will have more energy, we'll see that. Okay, first write down the definition of calorific value. Calorific value, the amount of energy, the amount of energy, the amount of energy which we'll be getting, which we'll be getting after burning, after burning 1 gram of 1 gram of fuel, after burning 1 gram of fuel. Okay, so here energy is also replaced with heat. Okay, energy is also replaced with heat. Heat is also called as energy only. How, I'll tell you. See, let's say this is internal combustion engine, technical word. In layman language, your vehicle engine. Okay, in vehicle engine, what happens is, here there will be a piston, here there will be a piston. Okay, so here you will be having fuel, here you'll be having fuel, your petrol. Okay, so this petrol will be mixed with air, and then this will be burned. After burning, the heat energy will be released. This heat energy, what it will do is, it will push the piston down, and then automatically piston will come again up. Now the heat will generate again, now the piston will go down again. So this process will be repeating, this process will be repeating. Now this linear movement will be converted into circular movement by using gears, and that's how your vehicle will be moving. So here, by burning the fuel along with the air, what you are getting, heat. That heat is working as energy, that energy is in turn creating linear momentum, and that linear momentum is converted in the form of circular momentum. That's how your vehicle is moving. Okay, now here energy equals to heat, write down. Here energy equals to, here energy equals to heat. Here energy equals to heat. So now if I have to redefine the definition again, then calorific value means the amount of heat produced after burning 1 gram of fuel is nothing but your calorific value. Understood this one? Okay, now if you can understand this, then your energy chapter will be done and dusted, trust me. Fine. Now we'll see the study of energy. Okay, keep a heading as study of energy. Study of energy. Study of energy. Okay, first method based on resources. Based on resources. Okay, so first listen, then you can write down. See, based on resources, we'll divide the energy into two types. Okay, first one is renewable energy. Renewable energy, and the other one is non renewable energy. See, everyone knows about these things. What is this? Renewable energy means reuse, again and again we can use. Okay, and non renewable means it cannot be used. Simple. Okay, see, which means renewable energy means again and again we can use. Again and again we can use. Second thing will be non exhaustible. Non exhaustible मतलब खत्म ही नहीं होता है. See, example, I mean, take solar energy. Okay, it is not the case like today if you have used the solar energy, tomorrow you won't get solar energy. Daily you will get the solar energy. Yes, so this is non exhaustible. And minimum pollution. No or minimum pollution. No or minimum pollution. Right now. Or else, I mean, tell me this one, then we'll write it together. Okay, so non-renewable energy, quite opposite, cannot use again and again. Okay, cannot use again, cannot use again, and these are exhaustible. Okay, let's say there is a coal mine. If you are digging the coal and if you are burning the coal, and end of the day you are digging and you are burning, so end of the day this is done and dusted, finished. Okay, so which means exhaustible. Exhaustible. And obviously, burning of coal, burning of petrol, burning of diesel, this will create pollution. Okay, so maximum pollution. Maximum pollution. Write down first. Now you need to tell me the examples. So here in science and tech, we'll see everything. Recent science and tech news is HMP, human meta pneumovirus. Okay, so about this also we'll see. In science we'll see about vaccine. Okay, how to make a vaccine. So we'll take a bacteria or we'll take a virus and we'll kill the virus, and in the deadly form we'll inject into a person. So what happens here is, in the person's body automatically resistance will create. Okay, but here the virus is already dead, so it won't react. Okay, with it is not reacting, on the other side body is reacting and it is creating the resistance. So this is vaccine. This we will learn in science. And for COVID vaccine, how we created the vaccine, and HMPV when it came and how we created the vaccine. Till now we didn't have any vaccine for HMPV. All these things we'll see in technology. Okay, so everything will be covered here. So tell me the examples for this renewable energy. Solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, ocean energy. I'll write it as ocean energy. Okay, so ocean energy, hydro power plants, hydro power plants, and biomass. Can I write biomass here? Biomass means the dry leaves. Okay, the waste. Okay, using the waste will create the fuel, biomass energy. Okay, so these are examples for renewable energy. Everything we'll see. Okay, we'll read about solar energy, wind energy, ocean energy, hydropower plant, everything we'll see. Okay, on the other side, non-renewable energy example, coal. So I'm writing the coal as thermal power plant. Thermal power plant in India, almost 60% we are producing the power using thermal power plant. Next, petroleum products. And then anything else? Natural gas, also write it here. Natural gas. Natural, right now. Natural gas. So based on resources, we have two types of energies. One is renewable energy, second one is non-renewable energy. Renewable energy, those resources can be used again and again. They are unexhaustible, non-exhaustible. No or minimum pollution will be there. On the other side, non-renewable resources cannot be used again, and they are exhaustible, and maximum pollution will be there. Okay. Now this is first based on resources. Okay. And the second one right now based on utilization. Based on utilization. Based on utilization. Based on utilization. Okay. So based on utilization, we have two types again. One is conventional, and second one will be non-conventional. Non-conventional. Conventional and non-conventional. Let me explain this and then we can write. See, based on utilization. So it depends from country to country. The before one which we have seen, it is same for all the countries. And this is depends on country to country. Okay. Example, if being a country India, we have international solar plant here. Okay. Solar organization here. Okay. Only international organization which is there in India, headquarters, which is International Solar Organization, which is in Gurgaon. Okay. So if in case, if in future, if we are using 60% of solar energy, then solar energy will be our conventional energy. But for now, we are using coal, petrol, okay, natural gas, CNG, LPG. So these all things will be conventional for us, which means this is based on the behavior of the country. If a country is more using more solar energy, then solar energy will be coming into conventional. Let's say if a country is using more hydro energy, hydropower plant, then that will be coming to conventional. If a country is using more wind energy, then that will be coming into conventional. But the thing here is, in India, conventional is nothing but non-renewable energies. This we are using. This is our behavior. We are polluting the climate. So our behavior is polluting the climate, nothing but non renewable energy. Non renewable energy. हो सकता है फ्यूचर में जाके सोलर बहुत ज्यादा यूज करेंगे तो सोलर इसमें आ जाएगा. Fine. If in future if you are using more solar energy, then solar can come here. Okay, this will, I mean, there are more possibilities that this may gonna happen, but for now your conventional energy is nothing but your non-renewable energy. Understood? See, conventional and non-conventional means based on your use. Okay, conventional means which you are using more, non-conventional means you are using less, still somewhere you are using. So in India what we are using more, renewable or non-renewable? Non-renewable. So non-renewable will be your conventional energy. Okay, similarly renewable, non-conventional will be your renewable energy. Renewable energy. My point here is, if India is succeeded in solar energy, if in future at least we are using 30% of the solar energy, then solar energy will leave the list of non-conventional and it will join the list of conventional. Understood? For now we are using very less solar energy, so still it is non-conventional. We are using more, I mean, see how many of your raise the hands whoever using solar in your homes. Nobody? Petrol? Everyone. So obviously that is your convention, your behavior. So that is conventional energy. Okay, right now keep a note point over there. Right now, generally non-conventional resources, non-conventional energy resources, generally non-conventional energy resources cannot be used directly, cannot be used directly. It need technology, it need technology, it need technology. Example, if I'll give you petrol, you'll use it directly, no need of any technology there. But if I'll give you solar, sunrise, okay, the sun rays, then you need to install solar technology, you need to install battery over there. So everything, technology is needed. Okay, so if technology is developed, then the non-conventional energy will be converted into, sorry, conventional energy, yes, non-conventional energy will be converted into conventional energy. So here lack of technology. So in future, if we want to convert solar energy into conventional energy, then what we have to do, we have to develop the technology. If you are developing the solar technology, then obviously non-conventional will be converted into conventional. Understand? Similarly everything like wind energy, for now we are using turbines. Okay, those are in hilly areas. Let's say tomorrow I have got a technology that I can install uh, wind turbines even in our institute, then obviously that technology will help that to change from non-conventional into conventional. So obviously non-conventional means lack of technology. This is my point. Understood? Next, study of fuel on the basis of calorific value. Third one, calorific value. So calorific value I have told you. What is calorific value? The amount of heat. Okay, the amount of heat produced by burning 1 gram of fuel. Okay, so here write down the order first. Coal, petroleum, coal, petroleum, LPG, CNG, LPG, CNG, and hydrogen. And hydrogen. Okay, first write down, I'll tell you. Okay, see, this is solid, this is liquid, gases. Okay, So simple calorific value means the amount of heat generated after burning 1 gram of fuel. So if I'll take 1 gram of coal, 1 gram of petrol, 1 gram of LPG, 1 gram of CNG, 1 gram of hydrogen. Okay. So in 1 gram of hydrogen, I'll get more calorific value. Okay. And similarly, coal, I'll get minimum calorific value, which means minimum heat will be generated here, and this is maximum heat will be generated here. Okay. And the formula here is, see, if I have taken 1 gram of fuel and if it is generating maximum heat, then the thing here is everything is converting into heat and we have less pollution over there. Okay. And the other one, if I have taken 1 gram of fuel, okay, it is giving minimum energy, which means remaining it is converting into pollution. Okay, let's say here coal you'll get minimum energy and hydrogen you'll get maximum energy. So if you are using coal, then you will get more pollution. If you are using petroleum, you will get more pollution, but when compared to coal, you will get somewhat less pollution. If you're using LPG, then you will get less pollution when compared to these two things. If you are using CNG, you'll get less pollution when compared to above three things. And if you are using hydrogen, you will have minimum pollution. Minimum pollution. That's the reason we are trying to replace our vehicles with hydrogen. Why? This is the reason. See, if we are using petrol, diesel, so we are getting less heat. On the other side, we are getting more pollution. If we can convert our vehicles into hydrogen vehicles, hydrogen gas vehicles, then obviously more heat will be there. Then more heat means more mileage. More heat means more mileage. On the one side, you'll get more mileage. On the other side, you'll get less pollution. So that's the reason everyone is trying for this hydrogen vehicles. Okay, Adam. Done. Okay. So UPSC level, they'll ask you from the questions here itself. Okay, maximum. So here, write down maximum, minimum energy, and maximum pollution also. And here, maximum energy and minimum pollution. So in UPSC level, they'll ask you statements like this. Okay. In state PCS, obviously they'll ask you the statements like this. Along with that, here recently, in I think UP state PCS, okay, they have asked a question: what are the gases we'll be using in LPG? LPG, your gas which you are using in your for your domestic purpose. Cylinder. What is the gas which we are using? Propane and butane. Okay, right on. Propane and butane. LPG, propane and butane. Okay, write down formula also: C3H8 and C4H10. So see, I mean, see, obviously the fuels will be having carbon and hydrogen. That's the reason we'll call them as carbohydrates. Hydrogen carbides. Okay. See, obviously carbohydrates means your food, which you are eating. Hydrocarbons means vehicle food, which they are eating, and they are giving energy. That's the difference. Both has carbon and hydrogen only. Okay. And then in the CNG, what we'll be having? Methane. Methane, right down. So again, methane, this is CH4, CH4. See here, one thing you can observe, see what I have told you, hydrogen has less pollution, okay, and this is CH4, which means here hydrogen content is more and carbon content is less. Here hydrogen content is only there. And again, here if you can see, this is C3H8. So carbon content is more. That's the reason pollution will be more. Again, C4H10. So carbon content is more. That's the reason pollution will be there. And in the coal, you will be having only carbon content. Hydrogen you won't be having in the coal. That's the reason more pollution will be there in coal. Understood? So if you are using pure carbon, then you will be having more pollution. If you are using pure hydrogen, then you will be having less pollution. Keep a note point over there right now. If your fuel has more carbon, then more pollution. If your fuel has more carbon, then more pollution. If your fuel has more hydrogen, then less pollution. If your fuel has more hydrogen, then it will be having less pollution. Okay, trust me guys, these are the questions they'll ask you in the form of statements. Okay, where we'll be plucking our hair, we'll not get our answers, but concept is simple. If more hydrogen, less pollution, more carbon, more pollution, and similarly more carbon, less energy, more hydrogen, high energy, maximum energy. Okay, next, write down. in india in india H10. In India, we are using all the three different natures of fuels. In India, we are using all the three different natures of the fuels, which means solid, liquid, and gases. In India, we are using all the three different natures of the fuels. Understood? Yes? So today, we'll see in India, we are using all the natures of fuels: solid, liquid, and gaseous. So today we'll see solid and we'll end the session. Tomorrow we'll see liquid. Okay, so write down solid nature of fuel. Solid nature of fuel. Solid nature of fuel. Example, so coal we are reading about. Solid nature of fuel, we're reading about coal. Okay, so UPSC guys, write down a mains question. This is already asked for twice in the mains. Write down. What are the problems with Indian coal? What are the problems with Indian coal? What are the problems with Indian coal? And state the advantages of Indian coal. And state the advantages, benefits of Indian coal. State the benefits of Indian coal. Okay. Now draw a table like this. Coal type. Okay. Coal type. Carbon content. Carbon content. Burning efficiency, which means wait, I'll tell you. Burning efficiency, and then result, and then result. So what are the types of coals? Anthracite, bituminous, lignite, peat. Okay, so write down anthracite, anthracite, bituminous, lignite, and peat. See, before that, let me tell you something. How a coal is formed? Huh? Fossils. Okay. See, if fossils are converting, I mean, if a tree is converting into 85% of fossil, then it will contains 85% carbon. Okay. If a tree is converting 55% fossil, then it has 55% of carbon. If something is converted only 35%, then 35% carbon will be there. Okay, and again, see this carbon anyways, it will give pollution. And if a fuel has 85% carbon and remaining is not converted, so this will not act as a fuel. This will give smoke, ash, and pollution. This will give smoke, ash, and pollution. Similarly, if something has 35% carbon only, 35% will burn. Remaining waste, it will give smoke, pollution, and ash. Understood? Okay. So here, anthracite has anthracite has more than 85% of carbon content. Bituminous has 55 to 85%. Lignite has 35 to 55%. And peat has less than 35%. So that's the reason nobody will call this peat as coal. Peat is in the process of, still in the process of converting into coal. Okay, so that's the reason in India we'll call this as coal. In remaining countries, they won't even consider this as coal, because this is still in the process of conversion into coal. Okay, so obviously, so here 85% is there, so burning efficiency will be more in this and less in this. Okay, so this here it is max and minimum. So when burning efficiency is max, then heat will be more. If heat is more, then energy will be more. So here what happens here is energy will be max and ash will be minimum. Smoke will be minimum. But reaching down, you'll get energy will be minimum, ash will be maximum, smoke will be smoke will be maximum, smoke will be maximum. Okay, so these are the 4 types of coals, and trust me, in state PCS there are high chances you will get one question from here. Again, based on the statements. Okay, not on the types you'll get in your school, because that is science, this is technology. So obviously best quality will be anthracite. Write down, best quality in the world is anthracite and the worst quality is peat. Write down, best quality is in the world is anthracite, best quality is anthracite, and the worst quality is peat. So in my interview, there is a question for me. Okay. So actually, in even India has highest number of this coal resources. Okay. See this Odisha, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, you will find n number of coal resources. So India is highest producer of coal. But you know what? India is highest importer of coal. We will come under top 5 importers. So now I think if we are in third rank. Okay, so we are in top 5 importers. On the other side, we are also in top 5 producers and exporters. Now, in my interview, they have asked me a question. See, being a top producer country of coal, why you are importing more? This is my question. Yes, that's the reason. Because in India, we don't have anthracite. In India, we have lignite. That's the reason in India, you'll find Lignite Corporation of India Limited. Only because the company is named after the type of coal, this which is lignite. And the second ranking is bituminous. Peat, कोई coal consider करता ही नहीं है उसको. So forget about peat. Okay. So in India, we have only, write down, Indian coal, bituminous and Indian coal, bituminous and lignite. Indian coal, bituminous and lignite. Now, I have given you a question, what are the problems with the Indian coal? Now you are in a position to answer your question, which is the problems. What are the problems? Energy is less, pollution is more. When I say pollution, ash and smoke. Okay, so this is first part. And second part, what are the benefits of Indian coal? Now you'll get the answer. Right now, thermal power plant pollutions. Thermal power plant. Thermal power plant means using coal. They'll do produce the energy. Okay. So thermal power plant pollutants. Okay. So there are three major pollutants. How many? Three major pollutants. Obviously, one is carbon dioxide. Second one is sulfur dioxide, and third one is nitrogen oxide. So these are the three pollutants. Okay. So basically, by looking at these three things, okay, tell me which one is more dangerous. Huh? Nitrogen oxide. Any other answers? CO2, SO2. Okay. See, let me tell you something. These two are global warming gases. Global warming gases. Okay. So what global warming gases will do is, today if you are using, after 100 years it will affect you. Okay. If you're using more, after 70 years it will affect you. But the sulfur dioxide, it has immediate effect. So most dangerous gas. On animals also it has effect. On plants also it has effect. Okay. So on animals, right now, circulatory system it will affect. Right now, circulatory system. Circulatory system. Respiratory system. And nervous system. So on one side, circulatory system will be affected, which means there are high chances you'll get heart attack, heart stroke. Respiratory system will be affected, which means सांस लेने में दिक्कत. Okay. And the third one is nervous system will be affected. Okay, so in high chance, I mean, in worst case scenario, your brain will be dead. Okay, in the plants, stunting and draft. Dwarf. Write down, check the spelling once. Dwarfism. Dwarf. Dwarf. Okay. So which one is more dangerous? Sulfur dioxide. Okay. So one more thing is there. I'll explain you. Done. Okay. Next one is say write down chlorosis. Chlorosis. See, in the plants you will be having chloroform. Okay, what it will be doing? It will prepare the food for plants. So only because the plants are having chloroform, it will be having green color. They are green in color only because it is having chloroform. So now what happens is, if there is an industry and this industry is producing more sulfur dioxide, then if you can see the plants around there, the plants leaves will be in yellow color. Okay, and the disease is called chlorosis. What it will be doing is, like, it will decrease the amount of chlorosis in the chlorophyll in the plants, so thereby the plants will be converting into yellow color. Okay, so this disease is called chlorosis. So it is affecting both humans and plants. In the human, on one side, circulatory system, nervous system, respiratory system. For plants, stunting, dwarf, and chlorosis. Dwarf means the plants, it will not be tall. Okay, so it will be short. Stunting means overall growth. Okay, the plant will not be having width or height, both it will be lacking. So that is stunting. On the other side, chlorosis, lack of chlorophyll. Okay, but one good thing with the Indian coal is, Indian coal will produce less sulfur dioxide and more carbon dioxide and nitrogen oxide. Now tell me, what are the benefits of Indian coal? Huh? It will produce less sulfur dioxide. Less effect, less effect, less effect. Forget about these things. To the point, it will produce less sulfur dioxide. So your circulatory system will be safe, respiratory system will be safe, and nervous system will be safe. Plants, they will be green in color, stunting will not be there, and dwarfism will not be there. So if you can mention these all things there in your answers, trust me, your answer will be the best answer. Okay. Now today's answer writing concept is problems with the Indian coal and benefits of the Indian coal. Okay, so this is all about Indian coal. Try to write some facts. India is highest producer of. India is among top 10 highest, top 5 highest producers of coal. India is among top 5 highest producers of coal. India is among top 5 highest producers of coal. Next point, India is among top 5 highest importers of coal. India is among top 5 highest importers. On the one side, it is top 5 producers. On the other side, it is top 5 importers. Because we are producing lignite more, and then bituminous anthracite ना के बराबर पीट कोई कंसीडर करता भी नहीं है. Fine. Next point. See, you might have seen this mining. Okay, that mining in technical terms, they'll call it as coal block. They'll call it as coal block. So when the Britishers left India, so what happened is these coal blocks were given to private partners. See what happened with, this Gandhi is a really intelligent fellow. I have told you this for many number of times in offline classes. He's really intelligent fellow. Why is, see, all the people they used to fight with the Britishers. But Gandhi, what he has done is a civil disobedience movement, non-cooperation movement, which means political rallies. Which means political rallies. See, when political rally will be there, 100 rupees has to be given, one quarter should be given, and one biryani packet must be given. If not the case, people will not come along with you. I'm for sure this is India. Even if he is Gandhi also, people will not come without quarter and biryani. Okay, even if I'm asking help for my students, they are even asking biryani for me. Huh? This Posa and Manikanta, even they are asking biryani for me. How come Gandhiji? Even Gandhi is the same situation with Gandhiji as well. What happens is if he is like asking people to come for the rally, obviously they'll ask for biryani and quarter for sure. 100 rupees, forget about God's sake, they'll not ask. But for sure, biryani and quarter. Okay, if somebody like Posa, then he'll ask beer. Okay, so what happened here is Gandhiji, he had a contract with the private individuals. Okay, Ratans and Tatas at that time. Okay, now what he has done is he has went to the private holders and he has came up with a deal. See, we are going to get independence. Okay, so you must help us to get independence. Like what kind of help you wanted from us? This is the question of industrialists, private holders. Then Gandhiji immediately told, you must give me money so that I'll buy biryani and quarter. Okay, so what's the advantage to us? Then Gandhiji immediately told them, see, already Britishers has so many companies here. Okay, if Britishers leave the country, obviously these companies will be under me because I am giving you this country the independence. So obviously these companies will be under me. If not the case also, they'll sell it for 100 rupees, 200 rupees, the value of 1 lakh rupees, they'll sell it for 100 rupees, 200 rupees. See, there is a person, he has a gold ring costing 1 lakh. Now, he got to know that today itself he'll die. And for God's sake, there is no shop open in the market. Now he'll go to the market. He'll see no shop is open. Now he'll go to his friend. He'll ask his friend, this is the value of 1 lakh rupees. Okay, now I want to sell this to you. He'll say, I have only 5,000. Then what he'll do? Anyways, tomorrow I'll die. I'll take 5,000. I'll enjoy and then I'll leave. Okay, similarly, the Britishers also have done the same. So they have like sold their companies at very cheaper cost to the private holders. Similarly, they have sold these coal blocks to the private holders. Now, Indira Gandhi will come. What Indira Gandhi will do? Nationalization of everything. Banks it will nationalize. Companies she will nationalize. Coal blocks she will nationalize. Okay. So in 1970s, Indira Gandhi nationalized the coal blocks. And then what happened is she called all the private holders again. Now, these are company properties, not your properties. If in your home, if you are getting any gold also, that is not your property. If let's say below your home, if there is a coal mine, then your home will not be your property because that will be government's property. Now government will call for auctions, okay, and the one who will be bidding high, he'll get the coal block. And there is a limit. In a year you have to dig this much deeper only. You have to produce this much coal only. Okay, so it is not the case like I have given you 10 years lease. Okay, it doesn't mean in 10 years you'll dig all the entire amount of coal from the blocks. No, this is not the case. I am giving you this for 10 years. In a year, you can dig maximum 1 ton of coal or 2 tons of coal. The limit will be given. Okay, and people will call for auctions, and the one who is bidding high, they'll get the coal blocks. So my point here is in 1947, these are with private individuals. In 1970s, This was nationalized, and finally again through the auction system it was given to private individuals again. Understood? Still it is government property, it is given under lease to the private individuals. Okay, right now. Coal blocks at the time of independence. Coal blocks at the time of independence owned by private individuals. Owned by private individuals. Coal blocks at the time of independence owned by private individuals. Private individuals. Later it was nationalized by Indira Gandhi in 1970s. Later it was nationalized by Indira Gandhi in 1970s. And government given these companies to coal blocks to private companies under auction. And government given these coal blocks to private companies under auction. Under auction. Okay, so even if, like, I mean, for sure companies will be private only. Okay, so this is all about your solid form of fuel. Okay, so I have seen simple introduction, leave it aside, remaining things will revise for once. Okay, we have seen 4 types of coals. One is anthracite, bituminous, lignite and peat. See, 4 types, and the order must be important because based on the energy. Okay, so in the anthracite you will find 85%, more than 85% of carbon, and in the bituminous you will find 55 to 85, and lignite you will find 35 to 55, and less than lignite 35 you will find peat. Okay, and energy value for bituminous, sorry, anthracite will be high and peat will be low. So there the pollution is less and energy is high. Here the pollution is more and the energy is less. And India, we have only lignite and bituminous, so problems are less energy and more pollution. Okay, and then I have told you pollutants: CO2, SO2, NOx. CO2 and NOx are global warming gases, so effect will be later on. But immediate effect will be with sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is less in Indian coal. So that's the reason we are safe. This is the advantage of this coals. Okay. So tomorrow we'll be continuing with liquid form of fuel. Okay. So petrol, diesel, tomorrow we'll see everything. Okay. Chalo, this is it all for today. Tomorrow I'll continue.